Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be talking to you about an app that I developed called a workout app for iOS. And so I'm going to be going through exactly what the app does. I'll show you that on a simulator, and then I'll run through the code and tell you a little bit more about how I developed it. And then finally, I will talk to you about some of the tests that I created. So let's first start out by seeing what the workout app does. Here you can see I clicked on the icon on the home page and it brings me to a list view. This shows a list of different workouts, their photos that are corresponding to that workout, the name of the workout, and the description. And then I can actually scroll down and see all the different workouts that are within the app. And I can click on any of these workouts to see a description. When I click on the workout, it brings me to a workout details page. I can see a larger photo of that workout and the name as well as the description. At any point, I could update the service and the app to bring in maybe some more details about the workout itself, such as the date that the actual activity was happening, maybe put a map view on there using MapKit. I could put in a longer description, lots of different options there. And I also developed the app so that it would look good on lots of different orientations. And I used constraints to do that. So let's see how it looks when I rotate the screen. Still looks pretty good. And that's because of those constraints. And I can click into any of these. Let's try jog. And it's still going to look good and allow me to scroll on this different layout. So now let's actually run and see how it looks on larger screens. So if I run an iPad Pro, it'll still look good because of those constraints that I did. Data is actually loading for that. So let's wait for the spinner, and there you go. You saw the spinner, and now the app is coming up, and it still looks great on the iPad, just as it did on the iPhone. The person can actually click on any of these, and it'll still look great when they go into the iPad. And that's because of those constraints that I put in the app. Now let's run through the code. If I click on this workout.swift, this is the data portion of my app. A piece of data is considered a workout, and so I created a workout class, and each workout has a name, description, and image URL. As I mentioned earlier, any workout might also have a date, or it could have a longer description, and I can add that in here if I choose to. And then all of the actual data itself is pulled from this workout service, the workout service.swift, and I have a workout service pulled right here that is bringing in any of the data. Instead of having a giant database within my iOS Swift code, it's pulling from an external service. And then it's actually formatting that to make sure that it's attaching each piece to a workout. Next, I will open this workout list view controller. This is showing you the list view. So if I pull up this app, I'll show you what the list view is. That's this page right here. And that is pulling together different statuses. So when it says view will appear, it's showing you what should happen when the view is about to appear, what happens when the view has already appeared. And so, for example, you want to be able to click on one of these and have it bring you then to the details page. Then I also created this spinner view controller. That's the spinner that I had mentioned to you earlier. While the app is loading, it's going to put together this spinner view controller that I set the color and the background transparency and everything on that. Then we have the detail view controller. That is the page that you get to after you click on one of these. And so this is the detail view. It's making sure that it's pulling the right information for each piece of the app. So for example, the workout name is going to be pulled from a workout name from the workout service. In addition, I have the UI alert controller. This one is a controller to create an alert if we have any for the apps. And so I put together an alert that could be pretty useful when there's no internet. So let's say you have no internet or no Wi-Fi. Let me close out this one and use the iPad. So I'm going to turn off the Wi-Fi and now actually play and build the app again. The app, you can set that and change what is going to pop up for the customer to see. So in a second, that will pop up. You can see the spinner, and then here we go. This is the UI alert controller. It's telling the user that the internet connection is, it's not there, there's an error, so you can try again later. And so at any point in your code, if you decide you want a different kind of alert, this alert controller can be called, and then you can adjust the title and the message that's actually being shown to the user. Then you can also look at, let's try the main.storyboard. This is going to show you exactly how I built the screens. So this is what the list view looks like, and then each of these is populated as more cells appear, and then each of those will take you to the details page. So now that I've walked you through the code, I want to walk you through the tests that I created. I think that testing is really important for apps, especially when you're making changes or it has a service that could go down at any point. It's really great to know that your code that you've implemented is causing something else to break. And that's why I think that these tests are really important. So I put together some of these. This first one is the workout test. And this one is making sure that your data is the way that it should be. So if the workout has the name stretch and the description is pre-workout to stretch muscles, making sure that that's the expected value that we get. So it's making sure the data is essentially set up correctly. Then we have the workout service test, making sure that the service is up and running the way that it should. And then finally, I created the workout list view controller test. This is actually making sure that the data is appearing the way that it should. So I put together a sort of like a mock service in here, and then call that. And this is really important because it showed me, for example, that the app wasn't working when the URL, an image URL wasn't there. And so I was able to then, update the app to have a default image when there was no image pulled in from the service. Instead of having an app crash, for example, it's a lot more beneficial for the customer to be able to see that data. So that's all I have for you, and I'm really hoping that you liked the app. I'd love to hear some feedback if you want me to add anything. So thanks for watching.